Hey.
Evening.
Hey.
Happy Fridays,
Evening.
guys. Evening,
Right,
evening. Oh, not bad, mate. Not bad. Yourself?
Oh my god.
Good, good.
Yeah, really good.
Mate, I just put like a cube of mysis in there.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite
Yeah.
wasn't quite fully like thawed out. Mate, and
Yeah.
my red blood shrimp's taken the whole cube, and he's like, I'm like, can you overfeed a red blood shrimp? Mate, he's got it all in his claws.
All his Christmases come at once, mate. Be perfect for him.
Yeah, he thinks it has, yeah.
Climb under the cave, get in the cave, and keep it to himself, mate. Evening, everyone.
Evening.
Right? Yes.
Evening, mate.
Anyway, as is customary, as always, is we go straight to who's joined us in the house. And at 3:41 this afternoon, got his reef flogged on. 3:41. We'll not be waiting that long, mate.
Wow.
Thanks for joining us,
Evening,
mate. I appreciate it. Tony, evening, Tony. Hope you're well, my friend.
Tony must have been gutted because he logged in at 5 o'clock and he was too late.
Yeah, he did. He did. I told he's usually the one who logs in all the time at first, doesn't it? So, yeah, fair play. Tony, you've been beat this week, unfortunately. Skids, even the Skids.
Like a shed load of food.
Second Reef. Evening, Second Reef. League One, I'm Reef for. Hope you're well, Lee. I watched your video on Reef Dudes the other day, mate. The live, fantastic. Very well done, mate. Dripper, evening Dripper. Well, 1 minute. Are we there? Why isn't it coming up? Not coming up. This. Oh, there we go. Happy Friday, my salty slashes. What's happened to flaps at 9? I'm gonna have to revert back to the porn. Well, we've got that. That's coming up today, mate. I didn't have a clue what was going on about it. To be fair, it must have been when I was off, or when I wasn't on. But Tom's basically told me what's going on.
I'm the Clam man.
Yeah, 9 o'clock. Tom's the Clam man, so he's going to send them over, and I'll be able to post them up. So yeah, we are going to do that 9 o'clock tonight, Pete. So. John, evening, John. Hope you're well, my friend. Reef 216, evening, Reef. Riggs is in the house. Evening, Riggs. Evening, guys. Missed last week due to work. Wish I worked baby hours like Jay. Yeah, we all do, my friend. Absolutely.
Jay's in his own little world. He's standing there, cleaning the tank, talking, totally oblivious.
What's up? Sorry.
Jay, do you know we're live?
Wait, are we live? Are we live? Yeah, I know we're live, mate. I'm just trying to sort out this blood red shrimp.
It's not gonna. It'll be all right. He won't overeat. Stuart, evening, Stuart. Marit, evening, Marit. Hope you're well. Collegiate swimmer, evening, police swimmer. Hope you're well, Carl. As always, evening, Carl. Let's have a look. I don't want to miss anyone out. MB Reefing, evening, MB. Hope you're well. All right, Gil's Aquarium, Liam. Hope you're well, my friend. Haley is in the house, evening, Haley. Let's have a look. Southeast Reefer, evening, Southeast Reefer. Hope you're well. Our good friends, Alex Brooks, evening, Alex. UK M120. Excuse me, UK M120. Hope you're well.
See you, mate.
Don't know if I've mentioned Southeast Reefer. I don't know if I haven't. Evening. JB.
Yeah. Yep, JB.
In the house. Evening, JB.
Evening.
Evening.
Scott. Evening, Scott, my friend. Hope you're well.
Evening.
How's the bubble coral?
Oh, yes. Dave.
Dave.
Evening, Dave. Thanks for,
hey, Dave. Nice you could find the channel. He's just joined your channel, Steve, I think. He's looking for the live.
Appreciate that.
For the live, and I said, it's on Moggs's. Yeah. So he's managed to make it over to
I appreciate that.
Subscribe, Dave.
Every subscriber helps, mate. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Dave. Rennie's Reef. Evening. What's going on here? Why is it clicking?
There's a lag.
Yeah, we can't see the comment. Oh, yeah. Haley.
Haley, yeah. It's not. My mouse is not seem to be clicking here. Evening, Haley. Rennie's Reef. Evening, Rennie's Reef. Dupas Reef, evening Dupas Reef.
Evening.
Oh, quite a few in the house today. Quite a few. Jarek, evening Jarek. Hope you're well, my friend. Phil's Reef, evening Phil. And I think we have caught up to Craig. Evening Craig. Hey, lovely,
Craig,
lovely picture.
Yeah, he's Spanish channel as well.
Lovely picture, my friend.
Yeah,
nice one, Craig. Appreciate that, mate.
Thanks for joining us. Good. Hit the subscribe as well on Moggs' channel. Nice one.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you see the lights?
Let's have a look. So just seeing, I've not missed anyone. I hope I'm not. No, I'm up to date. So yeah, we're all good. So anyway, guys, hey up. Reef community, yes. I hope you're well.
Evening.
Nice
evening, my friend. So yeah, first things first. How's everything going with all of our tanks? I'll come to Paul. I'll go to Paul first today. Paul, any changes with your tank? New, different, bad?
Not a lot. I've done virtually hardly anything to it. All I'm doing is the zero vit on here. So it's week 2. It's too early to see if it has an effect. That's about it. But I've got, Jay, you'll be interested. I've got, bags of jelly sweets.
Oh my God, that's
just for you. Look at that. They're white in your tank.
I've got milk bottles in there as well.
Yeah, I know that.
Got milk. Oh wow.
Oh, look at them.
Cole's not allowed these.
They're more like his teeth, Paul, on the back. If you flip it around, the blue ones, when he's had his blue wicked.
Blue teeth,
So we've got, I've got loads of these, which I've got to make up on Tuesday night. 200 bags of sweets. I'm not looking forward to that, but
wow.
But you think of anything. You think of everything for this show, honestly.
We've got some of those bubble gum with the tattoos on it that you can.
You can lick.
Remember them?
Oh, there's always a request to mess up on, aren't there?
Little candy sticks. They come with candy sticks, didn't they?
Well, the little cigarettes.
Yeah, like that. They came with tattoo. Yeah. Yeah.
The chocolate in the middle. No.
I love it.
Oh,
the sweets look amazing. Thank you.
They do.
Absolutely, mate.
On the tank. Been to the hall today. Sorted some more things out. The screen and all that kind of good stuff. That's sorted out. Popped into AAC. Saw their new unit that they've got where he's got the setting up the seahorses. That looks fantastic. And some other stuff. He's going to have another 2 9-foot coral trays in that room, which is like nuts considering how much he's got already.
Who's that?
AAC.
Wow.
So that's the additional unit that is going to have 2, I think 9 foot by 3 foot, two more trays.
Yeah. I've seen it. He did it on one of the videos, did he? He posted it on one. Oh, it was
flag box.
Flag box. Yeah, he showed him on that, did he? What he's doing. Yeah. Looks really good, mate.
Yeah, it'd be really good. You've got you picked up a second-hand tank, Paul, for the.
I'm going to pick it up tomorrow. So I'm going to pick one up tomorrow for the frag swap. Yeah. I've got my it'll be 10 years old this year tank that's in the shed. That's had water
when you were testing.
That's had water in it since last week, and touch wood, that's fine. That'll go down next week to the venue, and then Laura's lending me a big tub, so we'll have 3 tanks for the frag swap. I've lost count how many corals, but I think there's over 100 frags that are being swapped or given away. That was the last count. 122 frags.
Hey, I've got yours, Tom.
Yeah.
I've got yours,
I forgot about that.
I've got yours, my friend. Oh, you forgot about it? Oh, I shouldn't have reminded you then. Yeah, I've got yours, my friend. I don't know where you're going to put it, though.
What do you mean?
You have to float it in Paul's. You have to float it in Paul's tank and.
Yeah, fine, mate.
Oh, and there's quite a few people in the chat that's going to love to read. Don't forget your poly boxes. Obviously, if you're swapping or you receive poly boxes, definitely for. Although you keep your frags in the tank if you want at 25 degrees or whatever temperature you have. Yeah. If you then put them in the car on the way home, regardless of what the temperature is, because if it's going to be a hot day like today, then your car will be baking. Put it in the poly box, and it will stay at pretty much the temperature that comes out of the water, so you'll be all right. So, because there won't be any poly boxes at the venue, so get the small poly boxes, I'm sure if you're bringing coals down, you probably will anyway.
Thanks for doing the tip of the day, Paul. I've got out of it this week.
Well, yeah, you haven't done it for years.
But I know I have to do one every week, but you've got the tip of the day. Bring a polybox to the show.
When did you last do a tip of the week?
I think when Ross was on. That was about 1987. I think something like that.
So that's about it.
Tom had hair.
You are?
It was when you had hair. That's when I did that.
Yeah. Oh dear.
So fairly quiet week for you then, Paul. Yeah, I'm sure it's going to get busier next week though, when it's ramping up to the show.
Well, no, it's been busy on that. Tank wise, done hardly anything, but in terms of the Love to Reef, that's been full on. But yeah, I just got to finish off a few bits for next week, and then we're done. Hopefully, he says.
Yes.
Nearly sold.
Fingers crossed, mate.
Left, but they're nearly all gone. So I think by the day it'll be sold out.
Good.
Nice. Brilliant.
That's well done. That's brilliant. That can't wait, mate.
Organise everything that you've done and sell it out.
Yeah.
With that lineup as well of guests, mate, you've smashed it there.
I tell you what, the guests I'm really chuffed with. For those who know, so you got Dr. Jamie Craig. We've got Jose from Reef's Elements and Jeremy Gay from Reef Builders. So I think three very different guests, three very different topics.
Yeah.
And
fantastic.
Good. And we've got, I've lost count. I need to recount. We've done over 40 prizes for individual prizes for the kind of raffle for Mind. So that'd be brilliant. Yeah. So it's good odds of people winning. So that's really, I think it's over $3,000. We've got quite a few tanks being set up in the hall, but they're all dry. We've got obviously the coal vendors. That's the only tanks that will be wet, along with obviously the frag swap. And then I think you got DD, Neptunian, and Red Sea will all have dry displays in the hall as well. The DD one, they've got the DD 600, which I've never seen one of those, so that'd be good. So that's like the cube, the small one. So that'd be good to see.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it should be
brilliant, mate.
Good. I'm chasing Exodus just in case they have got something brought into the country, but we'll see. I don't know. That'd be good if they have that. I don't know if they will or not, but as soon as I find out and I'm allowed to say anything, then I will. But that'd be good if that can be at the show, but we'll see. Steve's eyes are light up if that's there.
So you mate, definitely on the list, that is for sure. Yes. Oh well.
Looking forward to it, mate. This time next week, sleep over.
Oh, I know. Everybody will be tucked up in bed, getting ready for it, mate.
Are you actually going, Steve?
This morning.
Are you going?
Yeah, he's bought his ticket.
Oh, you finally got your ticket, have you? Oh, good. I know you were looking at work, weren't you? You were like seeing if you could get time.
You know what? With the transition in work, mate, being took over by basically Manchester Council, they've basically just ripped every rule book up going, you know what I mean? So it's like your holidays are changed. It's just a nightmare, mate. So, and then because I'm doing a lot of late shifts, it's just a nightmare. Not many people want to work late, which is obvious, you know what I mean? So it was just seeing if I could get it off. Anyway, thankfully I managed to get it off, mate. So fully be there. I'm going to be setting off bright and early to get down there, maybe get a little bit of breakfast on the way, stop off, Costa Coffee, and
Are you coming down with Hidden Reefer?
No, I'm going down on my own, mate. Going down on my own. So I'm going down. I was going to come down with the missus, but with the kids, the daughter's away, and the mother-in-law, the daughter's away with her friend going to a caravan. But there's only my son, you know what I mean? But my mum and dad are away at the time, so there's nobody to look after my lad from the dog, you know, in the house really. So and I'm not doing it. So my missus said, "Oh, she'll just stay." So gutted, but I'll make it up. So we'll go somewhere else at some point.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
Paul's good at romantic weekends. He's a romantic guy. Ask him for some ideas. He's always going away for romantic weekends, isn't he? He's the romantic one out of us all.
Not sure about that.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Hey,
I'll pull it to one side and have a chat with him.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like
a meerkat with a rose in his teeth.
He did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
seeing as you were doing a bit of maintenance on your tank, how's your tank been going this week? Any changes?
Who, me?
Bad? Yeah, you.
Me?
Well, you're the old J, aren't you?
Literally, yeah,
right.
Sorry, mate. I forgot my name for a second there. You're getting old.
Yeah. Nothing's
really happened, to be honest. It's just been ticking over. It's got to 27 degrees because it's just a bit warm outside at the moment.
27?
Right.
27, yeah.
Yeah.
So my tank warms up pretty quick. So it's at 27 degrees.
So taking mine.
Well, 25.
Yeah.
Not stressing. It'll come down overnight anyway, slowly.
Yeah.
Just leave it naturally. What else? Mate,
do you have your window open? You know, because obviously being upstairs, you have it open, or
it's open,
right. Yeah.
My camera's the other way at the moment. In fact,
Perfect.
Put my Reef camera around now. Yeah.
My little fluval right near the door, freaking hell, that always stays. I mean, it's warm in here, but it always stays 25.2, 25.3, even if it's boiling in there. Because it's right near the door, you know, so it's got the draft from the door and stuff like that, and it's always open. It keeps it cool, yeah.
I've got quite a new house, so it's got like no insulation, so it's freezing, and now it's red hot. That's how it works.
Yeah.
No, that's
true.
Like older houses with the thicker walls and stuff, they're a bit more constant with the temperature.
Yeah.
New houses, they're like greenhouses.
That's why I wanted to ask you. Do you still use that Fiji mud?
Yeah.
You still use it?
I
was just wondering whether you did still use it or not.
Yeah, someone managed to get hold of some recently because they sent me a picture of it and they're like, "Yeah, I've got some."
You can't. Yeah, you couldn't get it, could you?
You could get it for ages, but someone managed to get some. But I can't remember where they picked it up from. Yeah. I use it probably once a month or something. Once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Roughly around there.
Yeah.
Mineralize the water. Yeah, it's good. Like if your nutrients are getting low, it's perfect for that. That's what it's good for.
Is that when you run out of the oil of Yule there? Yeah.
Hey, I need oil
cucumbers on ice.
Miracle mud. Miracle mud, yeah, mud masks. Like a Turkish mud bath or whatever it is. Turkish bath.
Yeah.
I use it still, Steve. Yeah, I use it still. I use everything that I use from the start, pretty much. I still use all of them. Kept it consistent. But
you know, I was watching your videos the other day, actually. You know, on the cycling.
You watched the adverts?
I actually watched the adverts as well. You know, when you first started out, you know, the cycling of it, when you had, and it was like 28 days your cycle, wasn't it, or something like that?
It took about a month. Yeah, it took about a month.
Because I thought to myself, I'm sure Jay did Dr. Tim's, and I looked searching through your thing 3 years ago or whatever it was, 2.5 years ago, and I'm like, holy moly! Like when you went to that farm and done a water change and stuff, and I was like, I was looking at my cycling. Obviously, I'm going through the cycle with his tank now, and I was like, am I doing something wrong here? Because and I spoke to Paul midweek about it, and I was like, I must be doing something wrong. But then again, the API test kit that I'm using, I don't know. I think they might do, misreadings by every so often. You know what I mean? And because then when you test again, it gives a totally different reading. So I was like, I mean, I know it's only to show whether there's any trace of anything in there. It's not high tech. You know what I mean? I get that. But I was thinking, I wonder what Jay used and all that. But you used all the Red Sea stuff, didn't you, when you were cycling?
Yeah. I used the Red Sea kit.
You're posh.
I followed the bottle of the ammonia, and I overdosed my ammonia, didn't I?
You overdosed.
I had to do massive water changes, and literally, I worked out on one of my later videos. I worked out what you should actually put in, and it's something like for a 20-litre tank, it's something like 4 or 5 drops, and I put like 20 drops in.
Yeah,
because that's what the bottle said.
Because it was 4 drops at a time, wasn't it? It said it was 4. Was it 4 drops per litre at the time or something like that? Wasn't it?
Yeah. It's about 1 per litre. Right. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah. No, it's interesting. It's good to look back, on certain videos in the past.
Well,
this is why I love it, YouTube. you did.
Mate, they were the days when I was posting it. I was posting a video like literally every 3 or 4 days because stuff was going on.
keeping a reef tank ages you, mate. You'll be like me and Tom soon, we're nowhere. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is, mate. It definitely does.
I'll look bad for 24.
Thing is, though, he's glutton for punishment because he's got his massive tank, but he's also been busy with like other projects. He just can't.
I know, yeah, exactly. Well, we'll come on to that. I come when he's showing those pictures and all that. I'm like, oh, I'd rather you than me, mate. I really don't envy you. You know what I mean? But anyway, so we'll come on to you. On that note, mate, we will come on to you. How's things been with you in your fish tank room and everything? What you've been doing?
Bank holiday weekend. Well, it certainly wasn't spent on the beach like some people or in the beer garden, which I would much rather have done.
Absolutely.
Although I did make the effort to have a few while I was doing it all. No, got to be cruel to be kind, haven't you? Some of the stuff you collect over the years, you've got to stuff. Yeah. You saw the MP40 magnets. I was just like, wow, really? I was in shock. Two wet sides in the bin.
Why do you think they've swollen like that?
I don't have a clue, mate. They've been.
You think it's like pressure of like coldness and all that, you know? Because if they've been in there, you know, in the winter and stuff. You think it's because of, you know, like with frost and stuff like that?
It's an insulated garage. I never really, and they've been in tubs with other stuff. They've not been left outside anyway. I don't know.
Do you know what I think on that? Because I've had this happen. If you clean, I don't know if you did. If you clean the heads off in a citric acid and then in normal water, tap water, I think they're okay. But I had one where I think I've taken the wet side out and I haven't dried anything. I think then the salt that's on there then starts to erode, so it stays on the power head and it just erodes the power head. So I think what I've started doing now, anything I take out, I clean it all off and try and get all the salt water off. So it's just basically a citric acid and a combination of that and RO. And because it's got no salt in it, I can't erode it. So that's what I mean. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm thinking. Because I've had not as bad as that, but I had an MP40 wet side go bad on me, and I think that's the reason why. Because the ones I've had in the tank have lasted years, and I take them out, and they all look okay, and there's no rust in them or anything. And I know vinegar, people were using vinegar, and that was a reason they gave to why they were going dodgy. That was a few years ago on some of them, but that's what I've started doing. When I stop using it, I just rinse it all off really well. If I had a Deltec skimmer and I run it for a day just in tap water, just to try and get off of it, off the pump, and maybe that's a bit overkill. I don't know, but that's that's my thought. I don't know if anyone's had any experience, but that's what I thought.
I mean, because there was a thing one day, like putting it in vinegar and stuff, you know, like, and then some of the older ones, they started to swell, didn't they? Because I had one that started to swell, and granted, I did put it in vinegar, but it wasn't in vinegar like overnight. It was only in there for 4 or 5 hours or so, and then I took it out, and then it started like I left it in the because I had 2, and then I left it, and then I came to put it in the tank, and I could see like it was swelling. And I looked at anyway. I sent the pictures and all that, and the guys at Exodus, Jez, and all that said, "Yeah, no problem, send it, and we'll we'll send you a new one." Do you know what I mean? Because it wasn't that old. It was only maybe 15-month old or something, 14-month old.
It's not old at all, isn't it?
Sent me a new one out. But on the MP10. But But anyway, that, so
do you know, like when you put all your crap on your garden? And you like left it all out there. Is that like so? People in
I made sure the missus wasn't in.
Was that
Oh yeah.
Well, he sent us a picture. It's on your Instagram, isn't it? Like with all your reefing kit on your front garden or something.
That's just all wet stuff.
Oh my!
The dry stuff is in the house, and this isn't a bragging act. This is just how long you've been in the hobby, and it's one of those. If you've got space to store it, you store it, don't you? Because you're like, I wonder if I ever, or what if I ever need this, or what if I ever need that, and so a lot of the, we've got a ridiculous amount of stuff in the house and in the loft. I think last time I counted there were 10, 12 T5 units, for example, that I've collected over the years. But again, I won't sell them because they're worth nothing. But yeah, that stuff out there you saw on the Instagram video that I did, that took 3, and it's still not finished. It's took 3 days, you know, and you've got to be cruel to be kind. As I said a second ago, you've got to decide, what am I actually going to use? You know, I mean, that calcium reactor, that Paxson calcium reactor, I bought off a couple that were really good friends with David Saxby, and I'm talking probably about 8-10 years ago I bought that. Never used it. I had plans for it and changed direction. But again, you know, who's going to buy a calcium reactor that can run 4,000 or 5,000 litres? You know, not many people.
Yeah.
So
I can't
it's like, do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like keep hold of it. But yeah, it's there are a few things that were a bit disappointing. Like I said, the MP40s, I expected those to have made it through, but I don't know what happened there. But yeah. The first one that you showed the picture of earlier, that was like a grenade had gone off in it. So I don't know what happened there at all. But,
yeah. I know that just looked like, that looked like it totally just smushed up.
Exploded.
Crazy, mate. Couldn't believe it when I seen it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, wow.
So no, before
mate.
You're right.
Sorry, mate. No, sorry.
When I had the garage running as a fish house before, it was just a bit OCD. Well, not OCD. It was just trying to put too much into it, you know. And what I've learned over the years, as the saying goes, less is more. So as you saw from the pictures I sent in the group chat, it's, you know, I was paying for a storage unit at £80-100 a month, simply somewhere to put the lawnmower and the hammer and the toolbox and fishing equipment, just simply because I've just got this obsession of growing corals, etc. But at the same token, I didn't want people to come round to the house. So we just had a compromise and split it in half this time. So as you saw with the racking I bought, it's which is from a customer of mine. He did me a really good deal, £200 on that, thanks to him.
Do you want me to show that, mate? Do you want me to show it or not?
Yeah, you can do.
Yeah, like racking.
It's been going on for about 6 months now. If you remember, originally I redid the floor, so we put a new drain in, tiled the floor because it was concrete before. So you just wanted a much better finish. So now we've got.
This is Tom's fish room. Looks smart, that mate. You've done a great job there. To be fair, in a weekend, you know what I mean?
In a weekend,
really good job, mate. In a weekend, so can't beat that, mate. Sink.
So we're gonna. The most important thing in there is a sink. Having a sink near to a tank. In the garage, we've got a sink, and then you got the 2 tanks. It makes such a difference when you've got to pour crap away, or you're changing water and you throw it down the sink and things like that.
Yeah,
it makes such a big difference. Just you can do that. It just makes life so convenient.
Is that a Griffin coral cutter, that mate, as well? There.
Yeah, it's a Griffin band. So yeah,
nice.
I've had it for years. I bought that from De Jong years ago when I went over.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's last time you couldn't swing a cat in there when I had tanks. It was like a horseshoe. You couldn't. There couldn't be 2 of you. You just there weren't enough room basically. So the one thing I wanted to make sure this time was, as I said a second ago, less is more, in the sense that there's a good space to work in, and it's like anything. If it's enjoyable, you're going to spend more time in it, aren't you? Just like anything.
So, for sure.
Just designed it in a way that, you know, I could have had a bigger tank and I could have put my old 11-foot coral table in there, but I'd have ended up with no room to wash my hands and frag any corals and package any corals and anything else. So just decided to, like I say, less is more. So 5-foot coral table, big sump. But this time round, we're having a QT system, which is what I'm a big advocate of. So everything I'm going to be, you know, chopping up and moving on and passing on, and maybe... And sell, and I don't say sell as a business proposition, because I've got my own recruitment business, but I mean business as in cover the costs of running the hobby, you know, so everything else, food. So it's not like I'm going to pretend to be a new, you know, entrepreneur in the coral industry, because it's a very hard industry from the people I know that are in it in terms of making any money. And I certainly don't want to be branded as a shed seller trying to undercut everybody. But if I can just make a few quid to cover the costs and enjoy, you know, sampling different species of acros that come in, then that's what I'm going to
do. Fair play.
I didn't know
that was a long-term plan.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to run it as a QT system. And I'm not going to go over all ground. We've talked about this months and months and months on the live stream about QT and shops, and some that do and some that can't, some that can't afford it, some that flip corals. You know, I appreciate it's a business, but to us it's a hobby, and it's us that end up, as I keep saying, holding the baby in terms of pests and any infestation. So I just think if there's more people out there that can, put things through QT and have maybe not got the overhead of a shop in terms of staff and as much overhead of rent and electric, then you can't. I'd love to sell it, Scott, but I'm keeping it to look at it. But no, I just think it'd just be nice to be able to give that peace of mind. I'm not saying it's bomb-proof QT, but it's something I want to look into. Something I've been on the receiving end, as I'm sure a lot of us have, of stuff not being QT properly, even though we dip stuff. So I just want to experiment. I said that all along with the tank behind me. I want to experiment. So a lot of the stuff behind me that's in there is going to come out there and is going to go in the garage. Not necessarily to be QT, just because it might not be stuff I want long term. But again, it's if you're fortunate enough to have the space like I've got in the garage to play around with certain things, be like, I fancy putting a bit of that in and try a bit of this and try a bit of that without the expense of going to a shop and spending 70, 80, 90 quid on a frag when you've got 2 or 3 in the back garage, then that's what I want to do. So,
yeah, no, I agree, mate. Absolutely. Definitely exploit the space that you've got, mate. I wish I had space like that in my garden. Well, in my house in general, if you know what I mean. Definitely something like that. My missus would never see me. I'd be in it all the time. You know what I mean? Which would probably be a good thing for my missus, to be fair. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, no, definitely, mate. And like you said, quarantining.
I mean, really,
that's a subject that you could talk about for ages, isn't it? Quarantining, whether you should quarantine it. I remember watching one where he said you quarantine frags and stuff like that, I know that Salah does. That guy in America, the one with a big tank, he quarantines all of his corals that he gets. You know what I mean? It's crazy, mate. You know what I mean? Not just fish. You know what I mean? It is. You can go really, really crazy with it, but it's the right thing to do. You know what I mean? For sure.
That's what people say. You do your fish, but not the corals, and then your cleanup crew. Even if it's a case of observation for a while.
Yeah.
Then eventually you're probably going to let something in, because it can easily, a disease can come in on the frag plug, couldn't it?
Yeah. And I never knew, like you said, even on your snails, they can come in on snails and stuff like that, mate. Which you'd never think. You know what I mean? You see hundreds and hundreds of snails in a shop. You just I'll have 6 of them, 10 of them, whatever. And you really just don't think things can come in on them. Diseases can come in on a snail shell. So it's mad to think. You know what I mean? But yeah,
I mean, longer term, I've got aspirations to do something on a bigger scale. But at the same token, it's a bit of a learning curve for me. And again, like I always say, nobody knows everything in this hobby. We're always learning. So for me, it's something I've never done to this extent, and I just want to do it. So yeah, I think it's just good experience, just good practice for for myself and for other hobbyists. And I just think if I could share anything along the way and anybody else can add to it, then so be it. Because like I say, they'll not be ridiculous prices. It'll just be cost of time and effort. Alex Brooks is going to spend a lot of time with me and help me due to the fact that he has a lot more spare time, bless him, due to his current circumstance than I do with work. But we're just going to do what we did before. Calc reactor, calc quasser, T5 light, and see what we can grow, see what we can cook.
All right, mate. Can't wait to see it, mate. It'll be fantastic. How it goes on.
A bit of everything.
Absolutely. Like Scott said there, really, like he said, no matter how hard you try to quarantine some stuff will always get through. It's true, mate. Yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I said. There's eggs that, like I said, there's eggs that you think, I've got rid of all those eggs. When I scrub mine, but my corals, whatever new corals I get, I dip them and then I scrub them. And then sometimes if they're on the frag rack, which I hate frag racks, as you know, I'll dip them again. A couple of days later, just to make sure. But the reality of it is, if there's eggs there and they're right underneath, like say a frag plug or in a crack, they're going to hatch. You can't get to them. You know what I mean? That's why I do try, in theory, to try and take whatever corals I do get off the frag plugs and replace them with my own. Do you know what I mean? The likelihood, but it's still not going to stop it in general. You know what I mean? It's what you try to go around it as best you can to hopefully get rid of anything that's that you don't want coming in.
What I did before was just cram the garage full of tanks and corals, and it ended up biting me in the arse because I didn't QT properly. So it's lesson learned, as I always say. If you've done something, why do it again and get it wrong again? So that's why I've just gone slow it down a little bit. Let's have a smaller tank, easier to deal with maintaining a QT system, and another pair of, and Alex has another pair of hands to help me during the week in terms of monitoring stuff. So that's the plan. I mean, in terms of the answer to the question, Jay, it's going to be sticks at mine and a friend who lives a couple of miles away. He's got my old tank and he's into the LPS. So in terms of what we offer, it will be a mixture of both, but it's going to be baby steps. You know, I've seen so many websites, and this again, I don't want to criticise necessarily. I've seen so many people that have tried to chop a box of corals up, list them all, send photographs, and then you go on a month later and they've not updated it, and then people get annoyed because you're not updating your photographs and you're not keeping on top of what you have or you haven't got, because just people don't have the time or the resources or the stock, and that's why it's just baby steps. You know, so I'm not sitting here tonight going, "Oh, this time next year, Rodney." You know? it's literally going to be. This is staying as a hobby with a little bit of a kickback to cover the cost. That's it.
Absolutely. That's what you want, mate.
Can I ask? You know what happened to them corals you bought off that? You know that guy that's 70-odd-year-old, and you said that there was a couple of problems with them. You remember?
We're all right. We're all right. We're all right.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we're okay so far. We're all right so far, but nothing's glued down again. And going back to what I said a minute ago with QT, as soon as I've got that set up, the couple that are in question are going to go in the garage. So we'll go from there.
But the good thing is you got a RAS that's always going round. So it could be the RAS, is any that were on there, could have been picking them off.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, there were dips, and that's why I knew there were a few issues with one in particular.
Yeah.
And I just think, again, quarantine is not just obviously the process of cleaning corals and dipping them and whatever else. It's also quarantining them from anything else in terms of mixing with other corals or other fish. You know, sometimes we forget that the terminology quarantine is the isolation almost, quarantine from other things. So I think we need to have a quarantine system in the garage is just good practice. And again, it's, as I keep repeating myself, it's something I want to learn and something I want to understand better more than anything.
And I think I think the bigger tanks you got, the more corals you got, and the higher the risk, isn't it? I think how much value you've got in there, but also, look at what the problems you had with silicates and that the scale of putting something right. In that size tank, he's just on a different level compared to certainly the tank that myself and Jay have got at the moment. Because you do a water change or do whatever you need to do, or need to dose it. I mean, the silicates I'm putting in here, I'm going for it pretty quick, and that's on a 100-litre tank. If that was even a 400-litre tank, I'd be the amount of money I'd have to sink for the silicates. And then if you look at the Zeovit as well, that'll last me ages. And that's 100. You've got 1,400. You're obviously using Zeovit as well. That's costing you a lot more than me to do it.
It does. And again, that was kind of like what got me talking to. Got a little bit, close friendship group with Alex, Drippy, Liam, and even I've just Lee's just sort of got on board with us talking locally. And for me, to go out and spend, I don't know, for obviously the system being 9 and a bit foot, to make an impact in terms of frags, you're going to spend a lot of money. I'm fortunate enough to still have a couple of contacts in terms of when I was importing years ago. Not talking importing massive amounts, but a couple of boxes of Acropora, and the risk is there in terms of dead on DOAs and whatnot. But I could get a mini colony for, let's say, for argument's sake, somebody delivered to me door, £30-40, and I might get 3 or 4 frags off it. All right, I might lose a couple, they might be dead, but I've got 3 or 4 frags that if I put one in the tank and it dies, I've got 2 or 3 more to have a go at, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Not just, I've just lost £70-80.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So it's almost I suppose a backup supply as well, or so the idea is, I'll get a couple of boxes and I'll pick a few nice bits out, and we'll probably move the rest of it on after it's been QT'd, and then we'll do it again and we'll do it again.
Yeah.
And I said this to somebody the other day, it sounds like a really silly analogy, but when you were a kid at school and you used to collect football stickers or whatever, there were certain ones, the foily ones or the special ones that you used to want to keep, and they were worth more money. Yeah. You put them to one side, and it's the same analogy. It's the same applies to an extent in terms of corals and species and genus with certain corals, and that's what I'm going to do. again, because nobody wants, not everybody wants green corals, do they? They want different colours. They want rainbow this and, and everything else. So you have to go through a number of different corals is the point I'm making when you're importing, as opposed to hand picking to get those special ones.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I was going to say,
when he was in shops, the amount of acro dead on arrival was very, very few, to be honest.
Yeah, the indoor stuff's a lot more. The indoor stuff that is, from experience, has always been a lot more robust than the Aussie stuff. The Aussie stuff I've had before has been horrendous. It's been sort of sometimes 50-50 in terms of DOAs.
Oh, really?
And that, again, because the time spent travelling.
Yeah.
Significant, much more time spent in travelling. Again, I'm not sitting here because I'm any expert. I did it for a couple of years, but yeah, we stopped with it Australian because the cost of the return that we were getting for the DOAs just wasn't worth it. What a lot of people don't realise is that if you're paying for a coral and you get the credit back from the supplier or the wholesaler, for example, you get the money back for the coral. You don't get the money that it's cost you to bring the coral into the country. So the shipping, the freight, the vet, the vet charges, the CITES, everything else, and that is in most cases 8 to 10 times the value of that coral. It's just astronomical. And you've got fuel prices, obviously, of planes and everything else, and greenhouse gases and whatever else taxes that people put on it these days, handling costs, paying somebody at Manchester Airport just to fetch it from a terminal to an handling office just because you're not allowed to go and pick up the box, and they are. So you have to pay them for the privilege of moving it on a forklift truck. Little things like that are all added costs to it. It's ridiculous. But if you don't pay, you don't get.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. It is bad. It is bad for sure.
I think I've seen Liam in the chat. He's talking about pH, which he's gonna love one of Paul's talks.
It was his birthday. It was his birthday the other day. Happy 30th, Liam. Everybody, happy 30th.
Happy 30th, mate.
Happy 30th.
He's just been surprised. Sorry, Mugs. He's just been surprised. His missus just bought him a brand new motorbike. If you check him out,
my God!
He's absolutely buzzing. It's got stabilizers, a big handlebar, a lot. He's happy.
Oh my God! Joking. I would say, thank you, Liam, for kitting me out for Love to Reef as well. He's making me a new T-shirt as well.
Is that your sports bra I saw at his house?
Yeah. Thank you for my Love to Reef merch, Liam. I appreciate that. I've got a new T-shirt coming with the live stream on the back and stuff like that. And Liam's sorting it out for me on his salty swagger. There you go.
That's the one. Yeah.
Fair play.
Salty swagger. Go check it out, guys. Go check it out.
I've got my T-shirt sorted ready for Love to Reef, Paul. So I'm all set.
Salty swagger.
Liam. Cheers, Liam.
Fair play. Roy Mitchell, can he pay in at the door, Paul?
No, there's a couple of reasons. One, we'll be sold out, and also there's a restriction on numbers. So I've got to do. So I've obviously got to get insurance, and I've had to do at least 2 risk assessments, and one of those is about the number of people. So there is a limit on people can be there, and I just want to be able to control it. So actually, no payment on door, because then I know exactly how many people will be there, or as a max. As it has
a few more tickets. There's still tickets available, though, yeah?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it will sell out by the time the show, by next Saturday. But yeah, Roy, if you want to message me on Instagram, Love to Reef, or
head over there, Roy.
So either one of those, if you want to message me, and then we can sort out a ticket. But no, there's no pay on the door. A few people have asked me. It's just not saying I want to go down that route, because I need to control it to a certain point, which seems like, really bureaucratic, which I kind of guess it is, but it just makes my life easier.
It must be a safety thing in terms of regulations of how many people you can have in that building as well.
Yeah, there is in terms of regulation, and also those that were there before. So that's the same hall, but we've got more vendors in it, so there's less space for people to kind of stand around, I suppose. But then we've got another hall as well. So there's kind of a spillover into another hall for people to go and have a sit down and chill out or whatever. And that's where the teas and coffees will be in the other room as well.
Oh, wow. Nice one.
Yeah, you might have to. I don't know if we'll have Yorkshire tea, Jay. So you might have to bring your own.
Come on. To be fair,
make sure you fetch your Tommy Tippy cup with 2 handles.
Health and safety, you'll have to, because under the risk assessment, I've got Jay needs exactly that kind of mug.
Exactly. Yeah,
you can't have a hot drink.
You'll need it on the day after your sleepover as well. So I don't know what you're taking the mick about. you'll be hanging.
I'm going to turn up in a wheelbarrow. Drippy will be pushing me.
Oh no, that's disaster.
You and Drippy won't be getting any sleep.
He's not staying. Actually, he's not staying. He's not
now. All right.
No, he's coming. No, he's coming to sleepover, but he lives down Paul way, don't he? So he don't need to stay in a hotel.
All right. Okay. Fair play.
But no, this time next week next week we'll be dancing on the tables and whatever else. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Next right now. So we haven't got a live stream next week, have we? I need to sort out all my stuff to take down.
Oh dear.
I can't remember all the things. I promised to take some water for you.
Oh yeah, he's going to do your silicates, isn't he?
Yeah, you're going to do my silicates. Remember?
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Okay.
Don't forget.
No, do you know what? I've only got 1 test left, and I've saved it for you, Jason.
You're spending a whole £1 on testing.
That's
four quid actually.
4 quid.
Oh, is it 4 quid? Testing window cleaning water. That's incredible.
From a petrol station.
Yes.
Bringing that down.
Will it work on RO?
I don't know.
It says it does, yeah.
That's what it wants to test, yeah. And I'm going to need to get in the loft and bring that Aquati, what is it? The RODI thing. I'll bring that down for your raffle, Paul.
Oh, thank you.
All right, yeah.
Because I don't use it, so you can put that in your raffle.
Oh,
okay, cool.
It's fair play.
Yeah.
You're still doing a J date.
All right, I'm good.
A J date.
J date. A date with Jay. We said we were going to raffle you off for night.
No, that's where's that actually come from? That's not happening at all. No way. That's in your own little mind going on here. I don't know.
He wants to bid for you.
I'll go on a date with you, mate, without having to be pulled out in the raffle. So don't worry. We'll go to Signature Frag and we'll hang out again up there.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
With your orange ski glasses on.
Right. Oh, what you like?
Sorry, Steve.
Right, I'm going to go back up here to see some what people have put down. I know
there was one about
I'm up to date,
flame angel, weren't there?
Sort of things.
Was there one about a flame angel above? Get to that in a minute.
Yeah, there was. I think I saved that one as well, mate. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, I think I saved that one as well. Yeah, I have MB Reefing. It was. Well, Lee's he lost 7 fish this week. Gutted with a dreaded white spot. Any advice, guys? I'm dosing Polyp Lab Medic, but still lost fish. I don't have any. I don't have anything with that, to be honest, because I've never dealt with white spot. But
so
I've about any of you guys.
I've used the Polyp Lab before, and the fish were okay. So there's a couple of things that I'd done. Number one, I had a spare bottle because if I have tangs again, I will have that on standby. As soon as I saw the first spots, I dosed it. I dosed the maximum amount. I also increased feeding to 3 times a day, because if you can keep your fish feeding, that has probably got the biggest benefit at all. Because if they're feeding, there's a fighting chance of them of the disease. There's mixed views on Polyp Lab Medic. People just think it's a snake oil. It has no positive effect on the fish. I don't know. All I know is that I had 3 tangs and they had it. I used it for the full dose. I fed for 3 times a day and it went. It doesn't mean it's out of the system, because you have to take fallow and you have to put it. The reason why I didn't take them all out into QT is because at that time I had 20 fish in a 5-foot tank. I would have had to destroy the rock work. There's no way I would have had a QT that had a sizable QT, and I probably would have killed the fish through stress. So I took the decision to leave them in there, and they all came through it. But I think I called it early, and I'd say feed. You do have to watch your nitrates, so I increased the amount of water changes I made. But I fed really heavy, and also I put a lot of nori in there as well, and that seemed to work. So I think it's the feeding that probably helped more than the Polyp Lab, but I don't know. That's my experience of it.
I've never used it. Have you used it, Jay? Or Tom?
No.
Have you used it?
I've used it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Kind of similar story to Paul, if I'm honest with you. Mixed opinions. Has it made a significant difference? I think for me, it's like any animal, in it, including human beings. If you're eating, you've got more of a fighting chance. Putting food into your body. I think that's number one rule of any animal. If it's eating, give it. Some people say, "Oh, oink that out, it's going to die." And I've had people say it to a couple of chromies that looked a bit scabby in the other days of getting this wet, but kept feeding them because they were feeding, and whatever they were feeding, they've got a fighting chance. And it's like anything. Some animals have got, humans, whatever you want to call it. Some animals, creatures have got a more stronger, robust immune system and tolerance than others, haven't they? You don't know until you do it. It's go through that process.
No. And I think by mixing the diet, rather than sticking to one thing in the diet, I always put vitamins with mine. When I had my tanks, like the vitamin drops, it was the Aquaforest ones. I used to just use them, and just drop them with the food that I was putting in. Obviously, the food that I made. But before that, when I was using the mycelium, I used to just do the same. Just drop it, enrich it, drain the water, soak them in vitamins and stuff like that, and then bang them in the tank that way. Do you know what I mean? And touch wood, I never had an issue with white spot. I don't know whether, like you said, you don't know whether it works or whether it's like Paul said, it's a snake oil and it's like people think it works when in reality it doesn't. But some things I have watched on YouTube and saying that, adding vitamins to food, fish food, it helps the biosystem and all that of them. So whether it's true, I don't know, but it definitely worked for me because touch wood, I've never seen any spots or anything on mine. And like I said, white spot is in everybody's tank. You know what I mean? It just flares up, doesn't it? You know what I mean? To be honest, if they're stressed.
If Lee wants to talk to anybody on the channel that I've seen in the comments, I'd definitely recommend you reaching out to Rob, a pelagic swimmer, because the extent that he goes through with his fish with QT and dealing with them, I'd strongly suggest you reach out to Rob because he's very knowledgeable on that. He gave me a lot of advice years ago. So again, I'm going to sit here, pretend I know everything because I don't. That guy knows a lot more than I do. So I'd definitely reach out to him if he's still on, or message him on Instagram, pelagic swimmer.
Yeah.
Pelagic swimmer. Reach out to him.
He's put a comment there about
wait to see you, John.
Going quickly might be velvet because if you got 7 fish dying that quick,
velvet's different.
I just find if you get white spot, as soon as you see the spots, do something about it straight away, and don't leave it, which is not always easy because can you get the medication? What can you do? But I think then just observing your fish and seeing something, even if it's not
velvet is like way above like white spot in it. In terms of like ferocity, it's like I know a friend of mine whose whole tank got wiped out with velvet. So yeah, I mean 7 fish, you cover a pelagic swimmer definitely could possibly be velvet to be fair. And Riggsy below us put 2 velvet wipes out. Exactly. Learned the hard way.
Yeah.
It's tough. Craig's heard garlic in food helps with white spot as well as a varied diet. Yeah, that's exactly what I've heard, mate, to be fair. Read up on.
I've heard that as well.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, what's right and what's wrong is
I think they're more of a suppressor, aren't they, than a cure?
That's it, yeah. Dave Vimo has put, I don't miss the nano heat with the temperatures. I'm going to lie. I'm not going to lie, sorry. I will see what happens with this 3-foot tank. There's a little fan on top normally works wonders. Jay loves fans on tops of his tank. He likes dropping them in his tank, don't you, Jay? You like that, don't you? Very much so.
DG Ocean Breeze, love me. I've had three sets of fans.
Yeah, D&D. Can you make a fan that's waterproof? D&D.
Yeah, I've given up with the fans, so I've got air conditioning now. That's much better. That works a treat. that is
fair play.
A big difference. I haven't got it on yet though.
When I was talking about the Fiji mud, it was Lee who said that, Jay. So going back right at the beginning when I said about the
nice,
it was Lee. Yeah.
Yeah, Lee's nice. Where was it from, Lee, in the end? Where did you get it from? From Shaky Wakey.
Below, Lee, where did you get it from?
Shaky Wakey.
Shaky Wakey.
How's the eggs?
Tom, how's the eggs doing? I'm assuming you're
I saw
just sing the eggs, innit?
How are your eggs, Tom?
Fertilized.
I've seen you sat on a bus. I've seen that picture of you sat on your bus. You look a bit swollen.
Mate, the chromis have gone to town. You saw, I don't know, you probably can't share it on the live stream.
That one there where you sat on the bus.
Oh, come on.
I sent that in the group chat saying to Steve, don't mess with this guy if he gets on your bus.
You look a bit swollen, your eggs there, Tom.
They do, mate. They do, mate. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it clean.
9 o'clock.
Let's keep it clean.
Oh, sorry, Steve.
We're nearly ready for Clam of the Week, actually, at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Tell us about your eggs.
So about the eggs, I've got 5 pair of chromis laying at the minute, and because my tank runs a lot warmer than most, sort of 27, 28. That's the magic number, and I tend to find every 2 weeks the clams and the chromis are laying. No detriment to the corals. Corals are fine. Clams fine. Everything else is fine. Just have to feed a lot more because
it's high, isn't it? Bloody high, isn't it? 28.
Yeah, well, I did a lot of reading on the back of me putting the T5s up and realising they were going to cook the tank. I did a lot of reading on the temperature, and this is a very controversial topic of conversation that could go on for hours. But I basically just read a few papers that I shared around with friends, Josh, Drippy, a few other people. I think I sent it to you guys months and months ago. It was basically done by scientists that go out to various oceans around the world and do various tests around coral reefs. And a lot of the data that came back was that, especially for Acropora, Indo-Acropora anyway, not Aussie Acropora, but Indo-Acropora, they're used to higher temperatures in water because that's what they're used to. That's where they come from. But I won't be started talking about it if I taught you New Affiliate because obviously they're a lot deeper and from cooler temperatures.
Yeah.
But for Acropora and SPS, shallow water, intense, well, not intense light, but, higher temperature, higher light, higher flow. So, yeah, it's just a high.
Yeah.
It's just a higher sort of energy is what I call it. High energy reef. So feed a lot in, a lot out, a lot of light. As less nutrients as possible. And, higher temperature, and it aids me well in the summer months in the UK because obviously it means the tank's more tolerable.
Yeah,
but as soon as my tank,
tank
hits 27.5, as soon as my tank hits 27.5, everybody starts laying eggs. It gets crazy in here.
Wow,
is it just fish food then? Are they just going to be eaten all by the fish, or is it like?
Yeah, so there starts to bit. It's a bit. I know I mentioned it in the chat about fish behaviour, but I've learned a lot. To be fair, there seems to be a little bit of I'm going to lay more eggs than you in terms of the pairs of chromis. And well, you've seen, we talked about it weeks ago with the orange shoulder that wasn't allowed to pass the weir behind me. Go past. That's biggest fish in the tank. So the behaviour that comes out when this starts happening is unreal. But no, the tangs are the worst. So the sailfin, the purple and the yellow, they're the ones that keep trying to eat them. And the chromis just seem to even Clive's getting in our time. To be fair, because it's food, isn't it? It's a food source.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Natural food source.
Nice green sauce, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not going to have any new fish then?
Well, I wanted to go for some. Oh God! Now you're putting me on the spot. Evans Eye Antheas, pink and yellow ones, just to break up the colour of the chromis.
They're amazing. Yeah, I love them.
And I don't think it'd be fair to everybody in the tank because I just think I've got the balance right in terms of the space. It sounds a bit sad, but when your lights are off and you walk in the tank and you can see everybody's got their own little bedroom window, and I just think if I was to put another 15 fish in there, where the hell are they going to go? It may be something I look at when the tank's more established with coral and stuff's growing out. But then if I have an issue, like we're talking about white spot and velvet, I can't really treat the tank, and am I really going to be fishing, trying to catch fish? And I don't know. I don't think, again, what I'm a big advocate of, is the risk worth the reward? No, it's not.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to leave it where it is, I think, for now.
Every different fish you put in will change
the dynamics,
the environment, won't it?
Yeah.
For them in terms of housing, temperament, and everything else. And so, you know, if you've got a lot of fish in it, it's just a case of whether you want to take that risk. That's what it comes down to, doesn't it?
I've heard that Antilles are really good at keeping chromis in check in terms of dominancy, and they stop them from squabbling. So they can be really good to herd chromis almost as a shepherd.
Yeah.
Break up the arguments. But I mean, I started with 15 chromis. I'm down to 11, 12. So there have been a few that have been attacked by the others and they turn on each other.
The weaker
It was
ones.
literally, weak ones. But the tank's been running, what we're on now, May. So we're getting to 9 months now. It's been wet. So it'd be a year, end of August, beginning September, somewhere around that time. Wow. And I just think, just because I want to look at a tank with a bit of pink and a bit of this, that, and the other, is it really worth how far I've come with everything else and the amount of time and effort I put into, you know, QTing to an extent and bringing the fishing in certain stages? I just don't think it's worth the risk at the minute. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it as we are for now.
Fair enough.
Great, mate. Absolutely. Scott's just put down before that Polo Reef has just done a recent video with Polo Universe, which fully talks you through white spot and velvet. That's the advice.
Nice.
Just that I might go and watch that. I do like watching things like that, to be fair. John's put, do you think higher sea temperature will corals adapt eventually? Well, I don't know. There's been a lot of coral. I mean, there's been a lot on that reef buildings, haven't there, where they've been posting about like coral, the amount of coral, you know, death in coral reefs and stuff like that nowadays.
They'll migrate, won't they? They'll migrate.
Global warming and all that.
It'll take a lot. You think how many years it is to build, and for them to adapt, you're probably talking decades, if not centuries.
Decades.
They'll migrate.
The article I read that I showed you guys a while ago basically was saying from this is scientists. This isn't hobbyists. This is the people that go out there and spend 3-6 months at a time doing this research. So you'd like to think they know what they're talking about. And what they were saying is that they couldn't understand why the generic hobbyist was running tanks at 25, 26. But it was simply because shops are telling people to run tanks at those temperatures because they've got a mixed reef, for example. And because you've got a mixed reef of mixed animals and mixed corals, etc., from all over, different places in terms of the world and different temperatures, that was the average. Whereas what they were saying that, again, the scientists, the best success you could get was to have a tank that was devoted to one sort of genus of coral. So like I say, Euphilia or SPS or whatever, which I know not everybody's cup of tea, but you can basically dial in the habitat or the climate of your tank based on where they originally come from, and you should expect better results. Is what he was saying.
It makes sense though, doesn't it? Because you're mapping the environment.
Yeah, it does make sense.
I'm not saying you've got closer to it. Let's face it, we've got talking about a box compared to the ocean. But at least we can try and align more of the parameters to it, including temperature.
Yeah,
so they'll seek the environment that they need. So they'll just shift on the latitude. They'll go either further. We'll go further north and south from the equator, just where the temperature then is 25 degrees. And obviously they need basically they need a limestone base as well for it to form. But they'll just shift. But I don't think they'll go as far as Southend, but that's hopeful. But they'll just migrate further north and south.
I think what I was shocked when the tank sometimes goes up to 28.67 A, and no detrimental, and that's with sticks in it, and there's no issue. Years ago, I wouldn't have dreamed of it going past 27 because in my head I was programmed, being in the hobby from shops and people I'd spoke to, don't let your tank go above 27 or whatever. The point is that they're a lot more tolerable than you realise.
Yeah, they are.
If anything, flow over. As long as your salinity is all right and you've got the flow and your pH is, pH is adequate, the animals are a lot more tolerable.
Yeah,
it's just like going for a long distance run and not having any water in your system or not having any food in your body or whatever. It's just if you're going to put your body through the whatever nth degree, if you've not if you're not going to do the precautions, you're going to end up a cropper, aren't you?
Yeah, I like your little analogies. They're good.
Yeah, and Bleacher said the downside of higher temperatures is O2 saturation is lower at higher temperatures. But I think today's tech can compensate for that.
Yeah, that's
absolutely,
what I was about flow. There's more agitation, more flow. So you CO2's so you're more flow.
Yeah.
You're going to run higher temperature, more flow, and feed more often because your fish have got a higher metabolic. They go on. They process food quicker.
Metabolic rate.
Metabolism. Yeah, the metabolic rate's higher because the temperature. Metabolism.
So basically, you're increasing the rate of everything, aren't you? Yeah. The energy and everything else in terms of the consumption. So therefore, you need to match it, whether it be with the lights, or the flow, or the food and everything else. Because they need more food, they need the flow, which is to your point. So it's like that. You increase one, you're gonna have an imbalance unless you increase the other stuff to it, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, Tom.
Yes.
People are asking for Clam of the Week. So I think we should do that, mate, and get the Clam of the Week. So you want to send that over to me and I can share it, present it.
I will forward this to you now. 1 second.
Can't you share it on yours, Tom? And then
just share it on yours. Click present at the bottom.
All right. God, I'm getting shouted at. 1 second.
Do it, Tom. Make a YouTube channel while you're at it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. When you go live with the channel,
make a YouTube channel.
That'd be a thing.
There's that other farmer out there who's got a channel.
Knock him off
or whatever he is. Go against him.
More popular,
You're more popular.
There's just no need, is there? At all.
Terrible, mate.
Do I do that, or does that work?
Yeah, so just go to present, and then it'll on yours.
Hang on.
Just make sure you choose the right screen, Tom. With it can be dangerous.
I need to just delete my browser history. 1 second.
Yeah, because Clam of the Week in Google might bring up something else.
It might do.
Yeah. Rich Matt is just while Tom's figuring that out. A bit late to the party, birthday weekend, so got spending money for lottery. Hey, happy birthday, my friend.
Yeah,
have a good
birthday.
John Wright, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Rich.
Liam has put take away turned up and miss your message. He's got a ZX6 6R. Wow.
Ooh,
I had a Suzuki GA6R 750. Oh mate, I missed that so much. My missus won't let me have a motorbike now. She won't let me have one.
Right.
So envious.
What a gift.
It certainly is, mate. Let's have a look.
What is it?
So you got it.
Is it a PowerPoint, Tom?
No, it's not a. It's not a.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it, Jay? That's a shame.
I love his PowerPoints. He's really good at it.
I
actually asked him to make me a PowerPoint. No, I'm not taking a mic. No, genuinely. I asked you.
Yeah, good. Jay, you know what? He should have sent it, shouldn't he? We shouldn't have bothered with the. We would have run out of time, didn't we?
It's in the studio. How do you get it? So it's. There you
go. There we go. There we go. So slide of the week. Well, Clam of the week. I'm reading slide here because I've got slide on my thing. You can't see slide, can you?
It's in Clam of the week.
No, Clam of the week. Probably in association with Clam Weekly, the Daily Clam, and Clam Watch UK.
That's good, isn't it? That is good.
Clam Watch UK. Love it, mate. Love it. So Clam of the week
this week is Rob, pelagic swimmer, with his 16-inch Duressa clam.
Wow!
Messed me yesterday. Yeah,
nice.
It's bigger than Claudia. So it must be. Yeah, Claudia's big old thing. 16 inches. Came from a tank breakdown. He's had it for 3 months. Yeah,
that's nice.
Nice coloration. Very nice. Very nice.
What type of clam is that? Oh, Duressa clam. I see. Duressa clam.
Duressa clam.
Yeah, that is impressive.
Yeah, that's a beauty. That.
I love the
one on the right. The one on the right's nice, though, isn't it? You know the one on the right, isn't it? That's nice. Is that another Duressa? Looks like another Duressa.
It's the same one. It's just a different picture.
Yeah,
it's the same one, Steve.
Oh, bloody hell. It looked different then for a moment. Yeah, it's the same one, isn't it?
The angle, I think, isn't it? Yeah.
You got the same corals.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, it looks like it was curled up, doesn't it? So I thought it was two different ones. Fair play. No, it's nice.
Yeah.
Then. I do. I love a clam. I think they're fantastic. Definitely good to have in a reef tank.
Yeah, it's lovely.
So pelagic swimmer, clam of the week, 16-inch Durasa clam. Wow, that's nice. That is nice.
Is it Fragbox TV who's got some really nice clams at the moment? Someone's got. Oh no, it wasn't.
Clammania.
I think it was.
Over in Clammania over in America. They've got some sick ones at the minute, haven't they?
That was it. Yeah, you know, on Yorkshire Reefer when he went to Reefer Palooza.
Yeah.
That's it. Clammania. Oh my God, they're unreal. They are as well.
So yeah, if anybody would like to be considered for Clam of the Week and have their clam featured on 9 o'clock every Friday, then please message me on Instagram with a picture of your clam. Contact me directly, the Clam Man. And, what are you shaking your clams at me for, Jay?
Tom could be the clam director. You could be the clam director, mate.
You've got visions of what you're going to get in your inbox.
Bring it. I live a sheltered life at 44 years old, so please enlighten me.
You're just inviting loads of spam there with different pictures.
Oh dear. But no, well done, Rob. Brilliant clam. Brilliant.
Yeah, beautiful clam. Absolutely beautiful. Second reef, we had a 750X race bike. Wow, nice. JB, a Triumph. Yeah, street triple. I've ridden one of them before myself, mates. My mate had one of them. And I've ridden I've ridden an R6, not an R1. R6, they're just death traps, and they are death traps. But yeah, enough of motorbikes. We're on the reefer trail. Let's have a look. Here we go. John. After the bacterial bloom and losing my clownfish in the water box, just found my pistol shrimp survived, but goby in a 3 foot now, so need another goby for it. Get out there and go and buy another one, John. Go and buy another one.
You're at AAC on next weekend. Get one there.
Yeah,
pick one up there, John.
Have some nice choice.
Absolutely.
Nice climb it was.
Sea reef top. My filefish has eaten all my zoas like sweets, but he's also eaten all the Aptasia. Can't have it all. Absolutely, mate. Yeah. I think I'd be a bit annoyed, mate, if he ate all my zoas, though.
Yeah.
I don't think I could. I couldn't have that as a trade-off, could you? To be fair, no, I won't be having that. I'll be getting some. Yeah, no chance.
It needs moving on to somebody else. That one.
Yes, it certainly does, mate.
Somebody hasn't got zoas.
Eve Curtin. love the R6. Yeah, nice part, mate. Fast. Oh, come on! What's going on here? Tom just wants pictures of wet, salty flaps.
Oh dear.
Good God! It's over 9 o'clock. Oh yeah, it's 9:30.
Yeah, you're right.
So what's everybody looking forward to the most that I love to read next week?
What's that?
What's on it?
What's everybody looking forward to the most for Love to Reef next week?
You know what I'm looking forward to the most, really, and never thought I would, because I like to talk to people, is the actual, the guest speakers. Interested in what they've got to say, to be honest. And I'm not one for sitting down. I don't like being in classrooms and stuff like that. But listening to something like in a hobby, you know what I mean? Some hobby that I love and stuff like that. I can't wait. I'm going to be sitting down there. So yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. And obviously seeing all you guys. But yeah, being learning a little bit. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, to be honest.
Definitely. Got to get on to the boxing now.
Will you, Jake? Because you're in the classroom all the time, aren't you?
So I love a classroom, mate. I'm at home in a classroom.
All the time, I think he's stretching it a bit.
37 weeks a year, but not weekends. Yeah, I'm in there. That's pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. I'm looking forward to the talk. I'm just looking forward to meeting up with everybody in the community, in the chat, and having a catch up, having a laugh, just enjoying the atmosphere really of the whole event. And obviously the sweets. That'll be nice.
Sweets, yeah.
Will be good.
You get. I don't suppose you get hyperactive, do you, when you have too much
sugar?
No,
not with sweets so much. Just with beer. If I have like a few drinks, I get a bit giddy.
Yeah, we have noticed that.
I get a bit
so that's why you didn't come to the sleepover then.
Yeah, mate. That's why I'm not coming to the sleepover. Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, dear. Good.
Paul's looking forward to the end.
I will be I will be relieved when Saturday night goes.
Yeah.
And I can sit down and watch the boxing. I will be that will be and then watch the boxing. And then I'll sit there thinking, whew, glad that's really pleased.
He'll be sat there in a fur coat with his pink stick with his ladies smoking a fat one.
Call me Huggy Bear.
Yeah. I can't wait for the boxing as well after. What a day that is. Reefing and the boxing. That is an incredible day. That is. Can't wait. What about you, Tom?
Yeah, definitely.
Meeting us.
Of course. Can't wait to see you again, Jay.
Don't forget your PowerPoint.
I'll bring me PowerPoint, mate. No, I'm looking forward to seeing some people off the channel I've spoke to quite a while now on Instagram and WhatsApp. It'd just be nice to put a face to the name and hopefully bring some sticks back. Not wooden ones. So fingers crossed. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a long trek for us. It's about probably it's a lot longer for Steve, to be fair, isn't it? You're Manchester, I'm Sheffield.
Quite way.
So
Doncaster. It is a bit of a trek.
Doncaster, yeah, where you live.
Bit of a trek, mate.
I don't live in Doncaster.
It'll be worth it.
He lives in Sheffield.
I don't. I live in Rotherham, which is even worse. Rotherham and Doncaster are about like that, to be fair. Sheffield's got a little bit more kudos, but anyway.
Sheffield with Gino De Campo. I thought you lived there.
No.
You lived in Sheffield.
You know exactly where I live, in Rotherham.
Rotherham.
Yeah, you Clam. Anyway. No, I'm looking forward to getting something from Paul AAC, but I've got certain colours that I'm going for this time. Nothing green, bit of orange, bit of pink, bit of red. That's what I'm looking for this time. Ideally.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh, and I want a piece of the lime in the sky. Acro, if there's any going.
Paul said he was fragging up. I had a piece of that years ago. It was a superb piece. If you get the coloration right, you start getting some yellow pieces on it as well. So it's like a highlighter piece. So it's really nice. It's a lovely piece. I've forgotten all about it because I bought it years ago from Paul.
And what did Judy say? 32 likes and he'll shave his hair off for charity. Is that what he said?
That's what he said. Yeah, that's what he said. Where is he now?
He's disappeared. He's gone. I think he's gone because I were expecting 30 likes and Tom will, I don't know, wear a wig or something. Put their lasses knickers on his head. So he's disappeared. So he's gone quiet on me. But yeah, anyway.
You must know that you're going to ask him.
Paul, is it wheelchair friendly at Love to Reef?
Yes. So through the main entrance, you have to go up a few steps, but there's a lift there. So there's about 6 steps and there's a lift, but there's also a side door, which is on ground level with the car park.
Yeah.
So yes, is the answer to that. So there's 2 entrances to it, and both of them are wheelchair friendly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I did see something there. Oh, there it is. Rich. What type of clam is best for the sand bed? I'm hoping AAC will have some in.
Easiest clam.
I've always put all my clams. I put all my clams on the sand bed. To be fair, I have seen a few people with put them, actually in the rock. More like Maxima clams, Maxima clams. I've seen them on the rock. But yeah, I've always had my clams on the sandbed.
Crusaders want a lot more light, from what I've researched, which they want to be mounted on a rock scape. But they're harder to find at the minute in the UK. The ones that are available at the minute coming from TMC do tend to be what I've got and what most people got, which is Duresas, which is like the one that Rob's just shown as Clam of the Week. They're very hardy. Very hardy. They don't demand a lot of power and a lot of flow, and you can again put them in the sandbed. put them on your sand.
Yeah.
As long as they've got some exposure to light, they should be, and some flow, they should be fine. But yeah, maximum as well, higher.
Would you get the kind of the square, the big square? I don't know, flat rock or something else you can just sit it on, so they're not raised from the sand. They're not sitting on the
They do those dish, it's like a dish in it, like a bath shape type thing, and the foot actually latches onto it. You know what I mean? They do them, don't they? That's what mine were on. And once they've latched on, they don't really tend to move off, unless they get really annoyed and peed off.
One thing I would sort of say that if you're looking at buying one, again, I'm pretending to be an expert, but what Christian at Signature said to me is try and avoid the really small ones, because they tend to be less hardy and sort of cheap. So if you're going to spend, you're not going to get a clam for, less than, 80 quid. So if you're going to spend that sort of money, spend a little bit more if you can and get something that's a decent size. I'd probably say, 3 inches if you can. That's not just a baby, it's more of a juvenile. And again, this is from a lot of what I've read and people have told me. Just to sort of save yourself a bit of heartache and losing some money, they tend to be a little bit more robust and hardier the bigger they are. Because the smaller they are, the more reliant the clam is on food. The bigger they are, when they start to become larger, they then change that reliance of filtering food out to light as well. So when they're bigger, they can actually eat, absorb energy from the light, not just what they're filtering out the water. But when they're younger, they are heavily reliant on your water and what you feed. Again, what I've read.
Yeah. Agree.
If you get a medium-sized one, you've got more successes. You've got better chance of success, is what I'm saying.
Which is no different to coral frags, isn't it? If you buy a 1-inch nub compared to a 2 or 3 inch frag, you've probably got a better chance of it surviving. Not always, but you find if you get the bigger frags, they're easier to look after. It's a hard and fast rule, but I found that anyway. Whereas the really smaller ones are more challenging, or can be.
John's put, is it better to buy livestock at the show and collect after, as it will be very busy after? I mean, a lot of people did do that last time, didn't they? They bought it and they left and said, "Can we collect it later on?" Didn't they?
Yeah, I don't know if you can. It's up to the vendors. I don't know. The issue you've got is if AAC is really busy and you say you want that one, and then they've got to try. They haven't got anywhere to put it, and if they're really, really busy, even if they say this one's sold to so and so, because they're busy, because we've got more people going this time than last time, the risk is that gets sold a second time. Personally, I would buy it and put it in a
polybox.
That's what I would do. If you see a coral, if you go in and they've got loads of them, then you think, well, okay, by the end of the day, I'll pick it up. There is a risk if you wait until the end of the day, then it'll be gone. I don't know if they will say, you can buy that, and then they'll hold it there. I really don't know, because obviously you got in the hall, you got Paul in the hall, you got Laura in the hall, and you got Dan in the hall. I don't know if they got any places to. I don't know what they were doing last year. I must admit, because I was buzzing around, I got no idea what they did last year. So I don't know is the answer, John. All I know, if I saw something I really wanted, I would buy it there and then and just carry a poly box around. Or if it's in a poly box, I'd probably put it in the car.
Yeah. So last year, John, when I saw a lot of people buying loads of corals from the vendors in there and at AAC, and like Paul said, they were buying it and taking it there and then. Obviously, just for fear that someone else would pick it up. So, perhaps.
Yeah, police swimmer there said that he'd lost coral as he sold it by mistake. So John, as Paul said, the lads maybe just get a poly box and
buy it when you see
it'll be okay. It'll be okay in that box, mate, for sure. And buy it and stick it in there.
That Reefer Palooza, he was using like a sandwich, an insulated sandwich. Cool bag type thing. Yeah.
Sandwich bag, with his pepperami.
Yeah, basically. You saw that, didn't you? You see the video of it?
I did. Cool bag.
That was quite a good idea. Like if you haven't got a poly box,
you've
got a little insulated.
You just want something that's insulated, don't you? That's what
you got a
that's
handle
basically
on it,
what
carry
you want.
It around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd work well as well.
Yeah.
I have to take you seriously, Tom.
It's too easy. It's too easy.
What you could do is you bring your own little pots, depending on what kind of frags you're going to get, and then you put it into the pots because that's easier than if they bag them up. Yeah. And then what I tend to do, in your poly box, I'd put bubble wrap in there as well. Just rub the bubble and spit over the top, but I'd have it in the poly box with bubble wrap in it, and I'd get them to, as long as you're not buying the big frags, but if you're buying the smaller frags, you get the poly boxes, you put it in there, and it's just easier to transport as well. They'll double bag them, but they're bigger bags, aren't they? Whereas I'm sure if you said, can you put that frag in this pot, then it's easier to transport around.
Yeah, right, definitely. I know I'm going back some time, but this one here, MB Reefing, how would you guys go about catching a timid flame angel? Are 2 different traps in my 3-foot tank, only feeding in the traps, but won't go in them. Just wait for the food to flow out. That's the problem, you see. I mean, when I starved my fish, you know, don't get onto it, but I starved them for a few days, and then I basically put it in the Nios trap. I had the Nios trap. Just literally put every fish went in there apart from the tank that I wanted to catch. And then eventually it probably just got that hungry that it just was like, yeah, I need to eat something. And it went in, and then it went in, and then I managed to catch it. But it took, 4 weeks? Over 4 weeks, I think it was, to catch that tank. But eventually I got there. But I did starve the fish tank for a bit. But I'm not saying that's the right way.
I think with traps,
but it definitely worked.
The thing I've learned over the years is to, if you can, is to leave the trap in the tank so the fish can get used to it, just like they would if you put a new coral in or a new piece of rock. If you keep taking the trap in and out, you're going to spook them. So if you can, try and put it in a position where you can leave it, and just leave it for a few days and just keep feeding and just pretend that it's not there. And then eventually, through trial and error and time and patience, as we always say, which is a virtue, I know, you should have a better result. But if you start taking it in and out, you will literally keep spooking the tank. So just put it in and leave it. Definitely let the fish get used to it.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, definitely. Custom Aquascapes just joined evening all, just got home. Don't get to watch the lives much hectic like, but always watch them back next day. Can't wait for next Saturday. Yeah, great to see you, mate. Can't wait to see you there.
He'll be there.
Great
absolutely.
To catch up. Yeah, good to see you, mate. Whose dog is going mad?
Mine. So right. So I'll just explain what's happened. So Karen, my other half, thought it'd be a really good idea to put a squirrel feeder on the top of the bar, on the roof of the bar at the bottom of the garden. And
there's a squirrel out there now.
The dog does not like the squirrels, and the squirrels keep tormenting Lola, my dog, because they know that she can't get to them. So they're all just sat there, literally ticking away at the nose. They're just going to the dog, and the dog is very happy. So
you know what? I have it with my thing. There's a couple of like stray cats. A big ginger tomcat, he's massive for you, and he sits on my garden gate and he's watching my dog. And my dog, like, he's a French bull mastiff. My dog is like 10 stone, 9.5 stone, and he just torments him. And he's like, as if like sits on his head, and my dog's just like. Just drops all into the garden. You know what I mean? It's like
in the morning when I let her out, because obviously it's lighter now. We're getting into summer. I open the door, she'll fly out, run to the bottom of the garden, and nothing moves. The pigeons don't move, the blackbirds don't move, the squirrels don't move. They all look at her as if to say, "You look an absolute," you know. And she's barking her head off, and so it's a bit of frustration from a blue staffy, unfortunately, in the background. Apologies. No,
I agree, mate. Yeah. Definitely.
Good point from Riggsy. I've not tried one, but they do look good, those Nios traps, to be fair. Everybody that's used them, so they're good.
Really good.
Nioxia know how good they are.
Yeah.
I love them, mate. I love mine for years. I love it.
I tell you what I'd like to know, though, if anybody does know the answer to this, and I'm sure there'll be some chemistry behind it. They don't work in freshwater tanks.
Oh, they sink,
work in freshwater?
Yeah, they only work in saltwater. I'm assuming it's the gravity or something, density of the water. Must be something, but they stink in fresh water, which I never knew. Yeah,
that's true.
You know what? I'm going to try that. I'm going to try it. I'm going to fill with bath up.
I'm going to say what you can do in the bath.
Mugsy going submarining.
What are you trapping in the bath?
I'm going to see where it floats. whether it'll float or not.
He's rubber duck. He's rubber duck.
Rubber duck, mate. Absolutely.
I think you're a bit old for bath toys, Steve.
Hey, mate, yeah, I tell you, you're all in my bath, mate. John got his for £5, so there's bargains out there, mate.
Wow,
yeah. Bargains out there.
Nios are there, aren't they? On so they got the
Exodus, who are the distributors. So they'll be there.
As well, probably.
Yeah.
I know, but there's so much better. I can remember when I used to have a fishing line from the lounge, from the dining room to the lounge.
I've done that.
And you'd let go of it, and it won't move because the door just
got stuck.
The door had jammed. Yeah.
Mate, or it delays. It delays when the fish are gone. Yeah.
Me and the missus are hiding around the wall. Like, I'm talking like 3 meters of fishing line. I don't know why we were whispering, like it can't hear it, like it can hear us whispering. It didn't let go of it, and the door just sticks.
It's like Roadrunner and Coyote, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice one, Alex. I like Alex's comment. That's funny.
Definitely.
Southeast Reefer said he needs a mule trap by Moorish. Has found my coral. Favourite fish, but love coral more. Absolutely, mate. That's the other problem with them. I know these people say, "Oh, fish," and this, that, and the other, but yeah. Once you've got one and it takes a liking to them, got to get them out. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. The density of the salt water doesn't let them work in fresh water. Fair play.
I thought it would be something to do with that.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's have a look. Riggs, if squirrels feel safe, they are cocky patched. They are, mate. Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Lee's put, that happened with the trap so many times. It is. I used one of those traps and the fish actually went in, the tang went in it, and I went like to release it, and it did exactly the same as you. The door came down this slow. Came down like a slow elevator. I was like, the fish just got scooped out, mate. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was wasted time. And that's when I bought the Nios. I thought, right, I'm going to get that. But, definitely the Nios definitely works, mate.
Well, do you know what I did years ago? What somebody told me to do is put a mirror in the bottom of them. Because a lot of the fish, like your tangs, your bigger fish, can be really aggressive if they see another one. So it attracts them to go in.
Yeah.
And I nicked a little mirror off. Kaz had a little makeup mirror going spare. I know it's not ideal to leave in long term with metals and whatever, but it actually works. I can't remember what fish it was, but we tried to get one out. It was an angel, I think. And the mirror worked because it literally saw the reflection of itself and went straight in, thinking it was there was another one, and it worked.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
I did that with my yellow tang when it was aggressive.
Jade would be like that.
Definitely works.
Sorry, mate, love you.
Most days I'd like to harpoon
too easy
for my convict tank. Yeah, mate, totally get you there. But I think we've caught up to everyone, to be honest. Let's have a look to see if
so Steve, what's happening with your, because you haven't said what's going on in your tank.
No.
Yeah.
Because obviously, is it where?
We have to wait till Sunday when the next video is out with 15 adverts.
One of those, eh?
Typical
YouTubers.
All about the algorithm.
Hey, I won't hide anything, mate. No, my tanks, it's cycling, but it's very, very close now. It's very, very close to being done as we speak, mate, to be fair. Everything's gone really, really good. I mean, the Dr. Tim's method, if any of you guys have, I mean, a lot of you guys have probably used that method, but I mean, I was a bit dubious at first, but it's definitely worked. I mean, there's been a few mishaps. It might have been me, you know what I mean? It might have been me, you know, like not reading the thing right, you know, the test kit right. Might have been my fault. But overall, I'm well impressed with the way it's worked. It's worked right. And like when Tom sent me that thing about lowering the salinity, so my salinity is like 1.0. It's not at 1.015, it's at 1.017 with salinity, but the temperature's around 28 degrees, 28.1, give or take. And it seems to, because obviously we spoke about it before, where it's the bacteria populates a lot quicker under those conditions. But I mean, it seems to have just gone like, I don't want to jinx myself, to be fair, But I think we're only a couple of days away from being fully cycled. In all honesty, no ammonia, nitrite, very, very little. But I did read about like nitrite, saying people were saying like nitrite, it's not really. I mean, I sent the link, didn't I, to you guys about it, and it's I suppose it's something that you could talk about forever. But a lot of people say like, you know, nitrite really in theory is irrelevant in salt water. It's only in fresh water. Like nitrite is not really something to like, you know, be over concerned about. You know what I mean? Now, which goes against all logic of my understanding of the nitrogen cycle was ammonia had to be gone. Nitrite had to be gone, and then you do a water change, big water change to take out nitrates, and there you go. You cycle. That's why I thought was for the whole nitrogen cycle. But a lot of people go with like that thing. What I sent you guys was like, oh, don't worry about it. As long as there's no ammonia, you're all right. But yeah, it's crazy. Something you can talk about forever, I suppose.
It'd be a bigger issue if you're not got any nitrate and you just got nitrite.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's not converted.
Yeah, I agree. Well, if you've got nitrate and you've got nitrite, a bit of nitrite, and you've got no ammonia, then it's saying you can start early. Because I read similar. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But yeah, no, overall, mate, it's doing really, really good. The Fluval, absolutely, spot on, mate. Thriving, it's doing really good.
It does look superb.
Sorry, Steve, I definitely recommend putting, when you think you're cycled, definitely recommend putting a bit more of that ammonium in. Even if you doubled it, because what I've always been conscious of is that measurement that they give you. What does that equal in terms of fish?
2 ppm. So I don't know what it equals.
What does that equal?
Yeah,
what does that equal?
About,
you know, it's like
you buy a load.
You buy a load. I just think I did it on this, and I doubled it up on the last day or the day after the last day. So I just wanted to make sure that it could deal with a big influx of fish if I was to put them all in one go.
But you was putting a lot of fish in at one time anyway, wasn't it? On your tank. I mean, granted, your tank's huge anyway, but you was putting. I mean, for a newly cycled tank, it was a lot of fish in theory what you was putting in it anyway, wasn't it? You know what I mean? But I get it. I totally get it. That's what it does say is like once you think that the cycle is done and there's no nitrite and ammonia in there, forget the nitrates because they're going to be present anyway until you do a water change. But to dose 2 ppm of ammonia into the system, what that equates to in bioload of fish, I don't have a clue. You know what I mean? But it says that you test 24 hours after that, and then you should see no ammonia and nitrite. It should just go convert straight to nitrates. So, I mean, like I said, I think I'm only a day or two, I reckon, away from it. Do you know what I mean? And then it's fully cycled. So then I will do that, as I've just explained, and then we'll see. We'll go from there, and then just put a couple of fish. But I've pre-warned Lee. Lee, who's looking after my clownfish. He's, I know he's doing a bit of maintenance on his tank. I think I don't know if he's not taking it down, but he's changing it about. I think he said so. He's going to get those clownfish out for me. So as soon as sometime next week, and then I'll be bringing them back and shoving them in the tank, mate. But it's difficult, isn't it? You know, when you cycle a tank, you don't want to overstock it there. You know what I mean? I mean, it's only a 3-foot tank. Granted, it's 300 litres, but I don't want to overstock it and then have a spike in nutrients. But I mean, we'll go. I'm just going to leave the 2 or 3 fish in there for the time being, and then we'll go from there because I don't want to go crazy. But one thing I do, have you got your apogee, Tom? Your sensor?
Yes. A power reader.
Power reader. Yeah. Now I've got the Senai. When I tried to plug it in, I tried to thingy it, and for some reason it's not registering. It's not working. I don't know what's going on with it. But what I want to do is I want to test the light, the light spectrum on this tank because it's different, in terms of my 4-foot one. Now I've saved all the presets, in mine, but it's totally different. Oh, look at that.
It's going to be high, isn't it? Because your lights are closer together.
It's going to be high.
So you're going to have more overlap. If you put the same intensity before, the middle, or not just the middle, but all of it is going to be really high, I would say.
It's going to be high. Definitely, I want to diet because I don't want to get any. I know I'm going to go through a diatom stage at some point and maybe a little bit of algae, but I don't want to. If I can try and avoid that, in terms of because the light brings that on mainly, doesn't it? You know what I mean? To be honest, but I've kept the lights off and I've had no diatoms or anything. No diatoms, no algae, anything, nothing like that since through the whole cycle. So, which I found was strange. To be fair, I thought I'd get at least a little brown dusting, but not even on the glass. You know what I mean? I've not had to scrape the glass or anything. Nothing throughout the whole cycle. So yeah, it's gone all right, mate. I don't want to jinx myself, like I said, but fingers crossed. The next few days should be cycled.
Nice.
Just a good cycle. Hey, John's got a good question for you there.
Where's that?
Steve, with your experience, do you expect any problems that you've never had before? That is a good question.
Oh, that is an excellent question, John. And as you know, you can get many. I mean, my experience, I wouldn't class myself as being experienced. To be honest, I've only been in the hobby 5-6 years. I mean, Tom and Paul are more like experienced, way more experienced than I am. But in terms of problems, I reckon I'm going to get problems for sure. Yeah, definitely. Smaller tank. All right, granted, water volume wise, yeah, it's probably 50 litres shorter than what I had in the other tank. But yeah, I reckon I'm going to
things that you just don't think about.
Yeah. What I don't want to do is I don't want to bottom nutrients out. So I want to try and avoid anything like cyano or what's it called, like dinos and stuff like that, because I know that would be an absolute nightmare. You know what I mean? Those things I definitely want to try and avoid, mate. But
dinos,
I'm probably going to get. I'm going to get algae. Dinos, yeah, dinos. Oh God, yeah. I mean that I hate dino. I mean, oh God, yeah, dinos. It's not good. But I mean, the others you can sort out algae and stuff like that. But yeah, I do expect to see something. But what
you're bound to have problems. You're bound to hit a few problems in a row.
First year,
you can't do it without.
First year, you always do, mate. No, can you? The first year, you always get problems, don't you? You know what I mean? Until the tank is like established and stuff. But eventually, I'm going to be doing water changes on here. So I've got a couple more buckets of salt, which is mixing up. I've got like 150 litres already mixed up. So I'm going to be doing water changes for it.
Toilet again.
Yeah, I got in the downstairs toilet. Yeah, as Jay says. Yeah, for a good 6 months, I reckon. 4 to 6 months, and then I want to try and ease off them. I want to try and go on to the stage where I'm not doing maybe once a month or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I will be doing water changes. I am going to be doing water changes on here all the time, but I want to limit it so maybe once a month. You know what I mean? So,
do you plan to use your skimmer and your filter roller, or both, or none? Obviously, talking about nutrients,
using them all,
bottom them out early.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the skimmer has been on because you're supposed to put it on after three days of the cycling, I believe, according to Dr. Timms. You can put them on. So the skimmer has been on. Well, it's the NIOS 160 skimmer, so it's really inferior. It's overkill for this tank. You know what I mean? It's a big skimmer.
1,000. That can do up to 1,000 litres, can't it? The 160.
Yeah. I think it's 400 to 1,000 litres, so it's a big beast. Yeah. So I've got that set onto my Apex, and it's on every other day, so I can switch on to every other day, as and when I need it, really. But I've only running it because it's new. And I wanted to get that coat, because that slime coat on the inside, because I mean, the skimmers can take a bit to dial in. Do you know what I mean? So that's the other reason why I've been running it. But I won't be running it all the time. I never ran the other one all the time on my last tank. To be fair, you know what I mean. So I will be running that. Definitely the Clarity. The Clarity's plumbed in. That's a must. It was a ball late to go in. Now these NIOS tanks, they say that they will fit a NIOS. They will fit a Clarity to 3,000. They won't fit one in. You've got to do some plumbing. They will not fit one in directly. You've got to mess about with the plumbing part of it, which was a ball leak. You know what I mean? But it managed to go in there. A couple of 90-degree elbows, a little bit of pipe work, and I've managed to get it in there. But yeah, I'll always run a filter, a roller filter in any of my tanks that I would have set up. But I just don't like. I'm just lazy in a sense of like I forget to take out socks, mate, or I'd be like, oh my god, I'm not took that sock out, god, and then that's all it is for me. It's just forgetfulness. So yeah, that's all money. In terms of everything else is all done in now. I've got the Trident ready to be set up. That's all ready to be set up. I've just got to put that in. Scott bought my other one off me, the KH Keeper.
Yeah.
So he got that one. Because otherwise it was just going to be there, you know, in the box. I wasn't going to be doing anything with it. So he got that. And yeah, everything else is all ready to be thing. The only thing I've got to get is a UV. That's the only thing I've got to get is a UV sterilizer. So
when you want to get, Steve, have you decided?
Yeah, I'm going to get the that TMC. Is it the TMC? You know, the purple one, the Titan. Is it TMC Titan?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get one of them. Well, I've seen one of the guys actually who Scott knows. I can't think of his name now. I can't remember his name. I seen him, and he said he only had it on his tank for about a week or two, and he said it was just too big, so he took it off. Anyway, he's got it for sale for 70 quid. So I'm going to get that off him. Yeah. So yeah, £70 bargain. 160 quid they are usually. So yeah, that's saved me a few quid. So I appreciate that. So I'm going to get that and then stick that on. But they're fairly big. They're fairly decent size. You know what I mean? And it's in a small cabinet like this. This is the only problem with. I mean, it's space. You know where you don't realise how much stuff you have. You know what I mean? You have so much stuff.
Well, you do, don't you? You got about 10 dosing pumps. You know, the Trident and Christ knows what else. It's like a.
It's got all the bells and whistles.
He loves a bell and whistle.
I do, mate. When the new Trident comes, I'll be having that as well on top. That's going to be on top of it as well. So yeah, as long as I don't have to test, mate. Yeah, the testing, I hate testing. So if a machine can do it.
I do think your lights look better, Steve, with the new arch rail. It looks better than it did before. Having it on the side. Rail. Yeah,
that looks like that. Yeah, I mean,
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I thought I didn't know what to make of it. You know, I think it was because it was new and different, something different. You know what I mean? But
I quite like it.
Looking at it, and when the lights are on, it does look nice. To be fair, I have come to terms with it, thinking, I'm going to probably keep it like that. But that is the 4-foot rail. Yeah, and somebody mentioned I needed the 3-foot, and I agree with them. It's a 4-foot one, but it'll do for now. I mean, Thingy said to me, Brett, he said he was just in his garage and he said you might as well see what it looks like. And now that I know that I like it, I will probably get the smaller rail for it and put the smaller one on, so it looks more streamlined, more more neater. But I'm going to keep it that way.
Yeah, it does look better.
Good.
The 2 XR30s though on that tank, that's just ridiculous. To be fair, it's ridiculous.
It is mad, mate. It is mad. I mean,
it's gonna boil like a kettle when you put lights on. It'll be like yours, Tom, when you first put your lights on that one. It started boiling in the background, didn't it?
It was just ridiculous with them T5s on. I wish I could have kept them on, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
that's it. You're probably right, mate. Yeah, but I'm wondering if like if you could put the diffusers on it, would that help? Would that
definitely help? Yeah.
I mean, would that help? Do you think that would help in terms of like, like get the diffusers maybe?
Get a diffuser, or you can get Johnny from Aquaprint.
Yeah.
To make the shades, because then you haven't got so much light.
I had 2 of them, didn't I?
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah, you had them. Yeah.
I had them both on my last one, but the clips that they were, the clips on that hook onto the leg, they snapped off. I don't know whether it's the heat. Yeah, I don't know whether it was the heat of them over time, or the salt and stuff like that over time. Yeah, the brittleness of it made it brittle, but they literally snapped off, mate, and they won't fit on.
Speak to Johnny, because he'll obviously be there next Saturday. Drop him a line.
Yeah, I will speak to him.
Out for you.
That's some G, them.
Yeah,
you don't get as much shimmer with them on like that. I can see it shimmering now, and it wasn't shimmering before. You lose the shimmer if you like shimmer, but they just obviously they do what they just diffuse the light.
Magnetic, aren't they?
Yeah, little
which helps though, doesn't it?
Little magnets.
Yeah,
which is pretty good.
Yeah, I like it. I like this one. I've kept it on since I've had it.
Yeah, no, maybe look at getting maybe a couple of them, maybe. I'll figure some out. Like I said, I need to test my par, and then once I test the par of where it is, where everything's going to be, in terms of the par, what the par readings are all over. You know what I mean? Then I'm going to jot them down on a piece of paper and write it down where it is, and then I should have a rough guide of the par spectrum of it. You know what I mean? In terms of how much, but I don't see myself running at any more than 40% or something on this tank. I think even that might be too powerful. Do you know what I mean? I mean, if you think about it, one XR30 can theoretically light a 4-foot tank. So a 3-foot tank, I've got 2 of them on a 3-foot tank. So yeah, I don't think. I
know you like your supplementary bars as well to give you that extra ping, and you're not going to be able to put them on as well.
I did do. I don't think I need them.
No, I don't think you need them.
You definitely don't need them. But you won't be able to resist. Like later down the line, and be like, "Oh, I want a bit more pop. Let's get some. Let's get some more bars on again."
When it's fully stocked, mate, with all SPS, I'll probably do it then. But anyway, let's have a look before we. I appreciate it, mate.
I can't believe how well that nano's gone. That nano you smashed that nano.
That looks brilliant.
Yeah, it does look good.
You know what? It's turned out a hell of a lot better than I actually thought. To be honest, I mean the coral. I mean, I tested it today. I've not done a water change in it for 2 weeks because the nutrients were low. Now I tend to water change it every 2 weeks anyway, so I don't have to, with the nutrients. But I've added a new little fish in it. A little coral goby, a little yellow coral goby in there, yeah. So he's in there and he's doing his little thing. He's been in about a week now. So I thought I'd test the tank and just see what the nutrients. The nutrients come at like 5 ppm on the nitrate and 0.04 on the phosphate. So I'm like, well, I don't need to do a water change, in terms of because I'll just be stripping out. You know what I mean? So I reckon that could go another week. So that'd be 3 weeks then. By the time I nearly need to change it, and I'll probably do a 10% water change. You know what I mean? Which is nothing. What's that? It's not even 10 litres.
Do you need to, what about do you think you have to start dosing soon? Because that's quite a lot of coral in a small space, isn't it? I think if you're doing water change, you're okay. But if your water changes are less frequent, it's just a case of them. Do you think you have to dose like Alpha Reef or something like that?
Potentially will do, mate. I tested calcium, a few weeks back, and that was coming in at 440. Magnesium was quite high. Magnesium was about 1470 or something like it was on the Salivert test kit. But I didn't have any reagent, for the alkalinity on Hano. And then I went to Out of the Blue, and they didn't have any in stock. So I've not tested the alkalinity on it. But the others were, like I said, magnesium slightly higher than you would probably want, especially in the nano.
So I thought calcium at 440. I think 1440 is all right because you've got a lot of torches in that, haven't you? So I think that kind of magnesium level's fine for torches.
Yeah, I agree, Paul. I agree. What was sad about it, though, Steve? Your urchins died. Bloody hell, mate. We were talking about urchins the day before.
You know what?
And then
I knew. Obviously, I filmed that before you guys, and I didn't want to let the secret out. It died before it. So when
watch the video, he doesn't do any exclusives on here.
Yeah. So I didn't want to say, I didn't want to say he's dead, and you know what I'm saying. So I was like, So I knew it had already been, but you know what? For the love of money, mate, I can't. They had no urchins in Out of the Blue or anything, mate. You know what I mean? So it's like, and then obviously Oasis is closed down now. So it's like, oh, mate, I was gutted. So I am gonna get. I want to see whether I can get a small, a little tiny small one and shove it in there because they are great urchins. We spoke about it the other week, didn't we?
Yeah, I do wonder if is there enough food. Steve, is there enough food for it though? That's any question mark around. You think small tank, not a lot of glass. Yeah. So actually, would any of them survive? Because usually you'd stick him in a much bigger tank, wouldn't you?
In a bigger tank, you would. Yeah. And that obviously came out of my big tank dinner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was at least 5 years. Yeah, he was 5 years old. He was 5 years old when I look back at some of the videos. So he did, and I think he starved. I think he did think he starved, and that was my finger thinking, do I get a smaller one? Because there is some algae in there on the glass, on the back wall and on the glass. Yeah. It's not going to go without algae. There's definitely some algae in there. Granted, there's not much. But I thought maybe a little small one with a little small one.
Yeah, I do.
Have you got any Coraline?
See, man, the other day when it went on the Clam, I thought Claudia was dead or was on its way out. She had been on the Clam for like overnight, and like literally, it was like graffiti where it had been. It taken all the Coraline off Claudia, off the Clam. It was literally just original shell, white shell. It just looked mad, absolutely mad.
Wow. Another one.
The tank that's housing my clownfish. Yeah, that's the tank that is changing in that corner. Flipping heck, another tank. Wow, you're mad, mate. You're mad. Tripper, I'll shave my barnet if Jay agrees to flog himself on a date.
No, it's not happening, Drippy. It's not happening, mate. It's not happening. I'll end up I don't know. Something horrible happened to me. I'm not having that.
Hey, you could go on a date with somebody in Greg's. Come on. He's going to shave his barnet off for charity.
Something horrible is going to happen to me. I'm not doing that.
Well.
Worst idea ever.
Chris is called. That's the lad. Chris is called. Yeah, Chris. Did you sort the noise on the intake? I did, mate. Yeah, I've it's so with these tanks. They've got the the thingy valve. The gate valve. Yeah, but there's the gate valve. But there's so much. I mean, you literally turn it less than a millimeter, don't you? And it's just like it goes noisy as anything, don't it? And then you turn it a little bit, another quarter of a millimeter, and it's like just right, and then it goes overflow, and then it starts in the overflow. You're like, oh my God, it was a nightmare. It took me hours, mate. I'm not exaggerating. It took me about 2 hours. My missus was like, what in the hell is going on with that? And I'm like, just don't even talk. Just don't talk. He's getting me mad. He's getting me mad. And then I think over time it settled, mate. You know what I mean? I got it to one point, and I thought, right, I'm leaving it. And then I think when it gets like a coat or slime, slime on the tube, it starts to think, and I think it starts to calm down. But yeah, it's definitely silent now, mate. Thankfully, I think if it wasn't, my missus would have threw it out the freaking door. So yeah, it was quite noisy at first, but it's like anything in it. You put a pump in, if you get a new pump, sometimes it's noisy at first, and then when it breaks in, same with a skimmer, bit noisy, but it breaks in, doesn't it? Over time. So yeah, but the rigs that I did, mate, it's sorted. Yeah, it was sorted. Critical Reef was tempted to change my Red Sea roller mat for a Clarity. I've never had a Clarity, but the D&D sump lets it fit in much neater. I mean, obviously, the D&Ds are made by, the Clarities are made for, in theory, D&D sumps, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? I think I've said it hundreds of times. It should all be made with the option of fitting a roller filter in, whether it's a Red Sea or a Clarity. They should do. Because a lot of people do go for them.
Yeah, having used the Red Sea one now for 6-9 months, I actually think the Red Sea is better than the Clarity.
The only issue I have with them is they're quite bulky, aren't they?
Yeah, I've got the
250 and they're quite big, aren't they? The 250 are big, aren't they?
Well, I got the 250 in the Red Sea Reefer 170. So that's the smallest sump than yours, and it just hangs on the front of the sump. I haven't cut any of the baffles or anything out like that. And I've got to say, touch wood, I rate it. I think it's really, really good. It's on your apps. You see how much it's using and that kind of thing. So I think if I put and I've got the two side by side, I think the Red Sea one is better. I like the Clarity, don't get me wrong.
Show us your Red Sea tattoo, Paul.
I got Red Sea on that one.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, Tom. His Red Sea sponsorship.
He's got a D&D sticker on the back of his car. Some visor.
It's not
like a bad boy racer.
I got DD and Red Sea, and they're both talking to me, and I flip flop.
Yeah, well, the Red Sea technically should be better because it was made after the Clarity.
Yeah.
So they could look at the Clarity and look at the weaknesses and then design it better, couldn't they?
I think the filter roller changed thingy. It's a lot easier with the Red Sea from what I've seen.
Yeah.
It's more finger the Red Sea. It's more intuitive. It's got, like you said, you got the app and all that. I mean, the Clarity is just a basic roller filter in it. Let's be honest, it's just basic in it. But it does what it says on the tin in it. You know what I mean? The float switch goes up. Yeah, it rolls the filter on, and that's what you want. You know what I mean? So whereas, like you said, the Red Sea is more in depth in it. It tells you how much it's rolled on each day, how much you've got left. You know what I mean, and stuff like that.
No different to having a heater with a dial or one with an LCD screen, though, isn't it? It's like, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
They both do the job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they both do exactly the same, mate. Absolutely. Just cut it down, Steve. You know what? Could potentially do that. To be fair, actually, it's only aluminium, innit? So yeah, I could cut it down. Maybe I might do that, mate. To be fair. Let's have a look. Not got long. Oh, actually, we're over, so we'll give a couple more minutes. Critical Reef sent Steve video of mine. As Lee says, just cut it down. Yeah, I probably will do. Oh, John, fish list. All I'm going to say is I'm definitely going to get a Flame Angel and I'm going to get a Gem Tang. Those two definitely going in there at some point.
Good choice. Flame Angel. Lovely fish. Flame Angel, good choice. Lovely fish, isn't it?
It's nice.
Never had one.
Absolutely. Let's have a look. Yeah, Lee's got a water box coming. This is water box.
Frag.
And
really nice.
And Jay, Dripper, Jay, Claudia bids on your flats for breakfast. Well, I think on that one, I think we're going to end it. I apologise, guys, but I think on Drip is one, we're going to have to end it on there. But you know what? Once again, guys, I appreciate you all joining on our Friday on the Friday night live stream. Really appreciate it. All you guys who are coming to Love to Reef next week. Can't wait to see you all as opposed to all of us. It's going to be a great occasion. Looking forward to it.
Yes,
absolutely looking forward to it. So yeah, until we see you all next Saturday.
No live
guys.
Weekend.